Supreme Rising. This full moon energy is no joke, y'all. This full moon energy is no joke. So I'm coming back on here like as a part two because so much information was coming out. Like I felt like I needed to do a full breakdown of that movie. I only broke down certain elements of Alien versus Predator. So to give y'all some context, if y'all just tuning in or just checking out or just finding me, welcome. My name is Empress Phoenix Fire, Love, Peace, and Soul. Definitely check out the video I did last night. Purple Star, guys. That wasn't that live crazy? And the downloads will stop. So check out the video I did last night about DM and DF teaming up. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'm gonna put in the title. I'm gonna change the title too to put in Alien versus Predator. Okay, so just watch the video. Okay, so this is gonna be a part two because there was so many things. What's up? Listen, Marcia. Is that Marcia? Listen, it's so much more that came forward that I was like, I would be remiss if I would just leave it at that. What up, Brown Brujita? Hold on, y'all. Let me park for a second, cause it's gonna be deep. Hold on. All right. So, what I was remembering too, what I was remembering about the movie, this is gonna make y'all want to watch the movie. I implore y'all, rent it, get it, watch it. All right. Remember, it was a pyramid that they was in. It was a pyramid that they was in. After a certain point in time, once the so-called hunt or the game was activated, the pyramid reconfigured every 10 minutes, right? Remember? The pyramid started shifting and changing every 10 minutes. So I was like, yo, that's the retrograde energy that we in. Because when it reconfigured, it would close them in where they were. And they had to stop. They couldn't go in. They had to wait till the 10 minutes was over and in order to move. And I said, that's retrograde energy. You know what I mean? That's the so-called delays. That's the mishaps. That's the you having to re-go over things and do it over again. And so remember the time when Sanaa Lathan was stuck with the Italian guy. You know what I'm saying? Not just Purple Star Goddess. I'm not even just talking about Mercury. There's a stellium. I call it a stellium retrograde because Uranus is in retrograde. Saturn, Jupiter, uh what's the other one? Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, I believe, and also Neptune, I think. There's a retrograde stellium. It's not even about Mercury. Mercury's just the baby player. Mercury's just the baby player. We got all the heavy hitters. The larger planets are in retrograde. Chiron, Chiron, the wounded healer, all of them are in retrograde right now. Okay, so even before Mercury steps in, right? So when Sanaa Lathan and the Italian guy, when they first they were stuck in a section of the pyramid. They was like, okay, while they were there, they didn't just stand around. They didn't shit their pants. They was reading the text on the walls. You see what I'm saying? To gain the information. And he was a translator. So because he was the translator, he was able to give the history, right? To give her the history on the temple, what was the purpose, the culture, you know what I mean? How the predators were seen as gods, basically saying that they was the ones that built the pyramids. We already know that the predator is representation of the melanated man on the planet. We know that, right? Listen, don't worry about my edges, y'all. Don't worry about this hair. I took the children to school and I was like, let's do what it do. Get this out from early. So they was reading the text. You see what I'm saying? Getting information. So I'm like, y'all, I'm telling you, this is the time to get the information. I realized this wasn't by design. I took my polish off and I took the polish off my toes. These are receptors. Your nail beds are receptors for the sun as well. There's also a solar flare energy that's hitting the planet. Get the sun as best as you can. Take your polish off, take your nails off for a while. There's always opportunities to go get your nails done. You understand me? This right here, that's the purpose of your nail beds. It's receptors. Okay, so keep them clear, keep your toes clear for a little while. I know we like to look cute and all that, but it's about gaining the information. So another download I was getting too, he was teaching her Italian because remember he was the translator, right? So she was asking him stuff like, how you say this in Italian, and this, that, and the third. So specifically divine feminine, and that's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna be learning different languages, or you have a desire to learn a language, or a language you never learned before, or a language that you know. Like I know Spanish, you know what I mean. You, but I used to be fluent to the point where when my first nursing home, they used to call me to translate for the Spanish residents, a black so-called Afro-American woman. They be like, "Where Crystal at? We need you to translate. Tell him he need to take this medicine. It's for his heart, and the doctor said if he don't take it, he gonna have to go to the hospital or whatever, whatever." That's how fluent I used to be in it. Okay, what you don't use, you lose. So you want to see specifically, and damn, there's so many downloads. Hold on, y'all. Learn these languages. You may not know why you want to learn a certain language. You may not understand, you know what I'm saying, or you just have an affinity towards it. Study it. Come on now, it's on YouTube. I already started studying another language myself, and I'm about to set out time, schedule, set out the time. Okay, set out the time. You may a setback may be your job might cut your hours, and you like, God damn it, why they cutting my hours? I need this money right now. But the universe might be setting it up that way so you have the time to do these extracurricular activities that you're going to need at a later date. Learn another language. And you may not need to pay anybody. Like I said, it's all up on YouTube. Of course, telepathy counts, beloved. Of course. It's crazy because, okay, as you mentioned that, I seen talking about mother energy that came out, right? The Black Madonna. I seen a random video of a mother bear and her cubs. And that's how you know that animals are sentient beings. Like they have souls, they have spirits. And the man, he just was observing the yes, that's right. Sign language. Come on, talk about it, y'all. Talk about it. That's another language within itself. Do you see how these sign language people are getting bigged up when they go to concerts and stuff like that? Translating songs. I didn't know for a while. I didn't know that until they brought that up. I didn't know that. I was like, I didn't know they had sign language people at these big concert events translating for people that are deaf. I was like, that is so dope. Imagine that. You can't hear music, which I feel music is a spiritual communicator. Music is a language within itself. Yes. Yes. They want to, and then they put the translations up for you on the telepro. Do you know if they really truly translating the same thing? I'm gonna post a picture. I don't know if I did already, but I saw a sign. I went to a tire shop, right? And one part of the sign said something in English, and it says something totally fucking different in Spanish. It said if you come for a tire change, you could get such and such for free in Spanish, but in English, it just said get your tire changed or some shit. And I was like, yo, if I didn't know Spanish, I wouldn't know that there's a possibility that I could get something for free. Do you see this shit? Learn the different languages, y'all. Because remember, the planet is ours. The planet is ours. French as well. See, digs. Spanish, Mandarin, most definitely. And as you mentioned Mandarin, I just seen another video of a sister that was in China. Remember when the pandemic hit, a lot of people got stranded. Remember they shut everything down. Nobody could leave. Wherever you was at, you had to stay. There was one sister I saw. She got stuck in Mexico. Her and her mother was on vacation, and they wind up even after everything opened back up. She was like, "We living here. We staying." Another sister, a lot of brothers and sisters up in China, okay, doing translation work, right? They got stuck out there and wound up making a living for finding partners, getting married, doing all of this and that. You got to remember, times of antiquity, we populated the entire planet. Rashid, Rashid, yes, Dr. Rashid. I don't want to mess up his last name, but I put his picture up in a community post. He just made the transition. He was heading a tour, right in Kemet in Egypt, and he died. He made the transition. He was pivotal, one of the most pivotal scholars in um showing how melanated people populated the whole earth. And he actually showed he would travel to those places and get pictures from earlier times, like and showing off like the black Japanese, the black all the black Asians, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, like the planet, it kind of dispels the thing that everybody came from Africa, because now I'm like, no, we didn't. We naturally populated the whole planet. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, the whole planet was Pangera. It was one landmass at one time. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't just Africa. It was the whole planet. Let me not get off topic, y'all, because y'all sparking this shit off here. Learn the different languages, right? That was another thing. She was learning the different languages. Now I'm seeing the reference, right? Now I'm seeing the reference to Haiti. Okay, we know a lot of shit is going on with Haiti. They just had another earthquake, right? They just had another earthquake. There are like thousands of Haitian refugees in Texas right now. I think Rio del some part of Texas, and they all populating like underneath this bridge, and they're seeking asylum right now. And it's a whole big uproar about all these Haitians coming into the country, right? So remember, I mentioned that Urzuli Danta is a part of the Orisha paradigm, and the Black Madonna card came out last night in that reading, which is like her iconography. I'm gonna post a picture of that too of Urzuli Danta, and she's like the patron. Also Saint Barbara is the same energy as Urzuli Danta, Saint Barbara. So she's the patron saint of single mothers and children, right? Isis and Horus, Aset and Heru. So Urzuli Danta, her narrative in the Orishas is that she was a slave. She was a Haitian slave during the Haitian Revolution when they was revolting against the French. Jesus Christ. We already know about the Haitian Revolution. So fighting to gain freedom. This is key. This is pivotal. So with this, I don't know. I'm gonna get backlash for this, but I would be remiss if I do not speak on it. Urzuli Danta is the dark skinned sister. There's different Urzulis in the pantheon. Urzuli Danta represents the dark skinned black woman. Urzuli Frida is the light skinned one. That's the one that represents beauty and all of this sensuality and all that, and her color is pink. But Urzuli Danta's color, hey beloved, is blue. Okay, and she goes to war. She's the rough one. She's the one that everybody goes to give her the her sister would drop off her kids. Right, the original slave, even though there was plenty of them, but that was the one. That was, remember, Haiti was the only one of the only countries. It was the only. It was the first island or country in the Caribbean to gain freedom. Okay, on its own with no help from nobody. Okay, Danta. She was the divine mother energy because even her sister Frida would give her children to her to watch, look up, and research the narrative. There's no shade to my light skinned sisters, but we got to talk about the colorism that we experience and that I have experienced along with racism. Come on now, my dark skinned sisters, we know what we done been through, but we keep quiet about it. We know what we go through. Even in the workplace, the light skin, I've seen the light skinned nurses will get the position over the dark skinned nurse, or they allow them to. Most of the light skinned nurses work day shift, and the dark skin, yo, my whole crew on a night when I've worked night shift was dark skin. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about the colorism shit. Didn't in the Black Madonna card it said the dark has been vilified for too long? The dark skin, when we are the ones that are actually the most powerful, when actually, Stray, what's good, when actually we are the ones that hold the most power, we are the ones that have the most original primordial energy. We gotta talk about it. And like I said, there's no shade to my light skinned sisters because light skinned sisters receive a lot of racism too. But let's be honest, you don't get it as bad as we do. You don't get it as bad, to the point where in during like the civil right, like from the 50s into the 70s, there are families, light skinned families that wanted to stay light skinned. They would tell their children, don't bring no dark skinned person home. And you will see the pictures of the whole family. Ain't not one dark skinned person. They don't marry in nobody. They stick with another light skin because they would be able to either pass for white. Hold on, check this goddamn seat. They would be either to pass for white, or it's just the privilege. The light skin, there is a light skin privilege. There's a light skin privilege. Okay? So this energy that is coming forward, that at the channeling that I did, is more specifically saying dark skin, like to my dark skin sisters that have been even to this day in 2021 experience not only racism but colorism amongst your own kind. I had a light skinned nurse try to tell me some shit, and I was like, I've been a nurse for 12 years, sweetheart. Oh, do you need any help? Or oh, how long you been a nurse? Oh, no, I got it. That's why there was a war. Look in the Orishas, or Zuli Frida or Zuli Dancer. They were rivals. Okay. What else came out about the Chantry? So there's definitely something in regards to the Haitian Revolution, all right, with Ozuli Dancer, and the dark skinned woman is more of the warrior. We gotta be more hard. We gotta we our literally our skin is more tougher than others. That's why we go through what we go through, right? God won't put more on you than you can bear. Hold on. God won't put more on you than you can bear. Okay? Yep, Willie Lynch. Who's that? Who's that? That's right. It was an indoctrination. We know it was a programming during slavery. The Willie Lynch. You know what I'm saying? Pit the light skin against the dark skin. Pit the woman against the man. You see what I'm saying? So this is why, you know, right, it goes both ways. It does. But it's because of the fact of the privilege. It's the privilege that the light skinned brothers and sisters get that makes the dark skinned people want to hate. It's like the house nigga versus the field nigga. It's like the house nigga think he better because he get all the all the good stuff. Meanwhile, we out here slaving, doing most of the work. Da 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 da. You know, and we get treated like shit. We get treated the worst. And then the house nigga, like I said, most house niggas, they wouldn't be nice to the field niggas. They wouldn't be nice like yo, I'ma slide y'all some extra shit. It'd be rare and far in between. They will look down on the field niggas just like the white people do. Okay? So we gotta talk about this shit. Cause it came up in the reading. When I watched the reading over, I was like, oh my God. Everything was talking about dark, it was talking about dark skinned women. The black Madonna. The dark has been vilified for too long. That we're the most ghetto ones, we're the most uneducated ones. We are the ones that, you know, automatically when they look at me. And I'm like, what's the difference between me and that other black nurse? Is that she's just lighter. So they would give her more preferential treatment. Oh, she's able to work the day shift, you see, or able to work in hospitals out here. Forget about it. I applied for a hospital too. And she was like, oh, I got the job. I was like, yeah, I bet, bitch. Yo, it's crazy. We got to talk about it, but we got to talk about it in order to heal it. Right, right. But this is why we got to talk about it in order to heal it now. You see what I'm saying? In order to heal all of this stuff to get over it, because once we're able to get over that, get over the colorism and all of this stuff, and stop hating on each other, and be able to like that. Remember, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So this is what they don't. This is why we so called a minority, because we don't have any unity whatsoever among the ranks. That's an issue. That's an issue. You see me? So I just gotta big up my dark skin sisters, and like and just let you know like it's okay, because you are the one with the most power. You have the most capacity to be able to get these downloads from the sun. Get it, girl. Get more crispy if you get more crispy. Get out in that sun. So what? Get chocolate as you can. Take the polish off your nails and off your toes, just for the time being. Just for the time being, get those downloads from the sun that's happening. get those downloads. Okay, right now the geostorm is hitting the planet like crazy. There's nothing they can't block it out. They can't. This is why they want to reform or adapt or change your DNA. That's why. That's what this whole shit is about. They want to change your DNA so that way you cannot receive the new upgrades that are naturally happening in nature with the celestial heavenly bodies. First, it would stay inside, right? So you can't get it. Then people are even like, even if they stand in front of their house, they're like, well, dang, that's not gonna work. They still gonna get it. You see what I'm saying? Right, trying to shut down the upgrades that's happening in the DNA, trying to shut it down. Okay, y'all. Alien versus Predator. Watch that shit. Watch that shit. Look up Urzuli Danta, Saint Barbara. Right, and that was back then. That was so that way they could get, you know what I'm saying? That was so that way they could get through what they went through during Jim Crow and all of them. You know what I'm saying? During those times, you know. And so what's going to happen is the cycle is going to be broken of those light skinned families. You see what I'm saying? That ain't never had no dark skinned person. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be introduced to the family now. There's going to be children made now. Grandmama gonna be pissed that there's gonna be a chocolate baby. It's gonna be a chocolate grandbaby. Yo, that's crazy. I was like, how in this day and age people still doing that? But it's because it's been ingrained in them, taught in them. Like, listen, don't bring. And then by the third generation, remember it was coming up about 3 generations. By the third generation, it's already innate in them. It don't have to be taught. Like, don't bring nobody. That's just it's already gonna be like I'm only gonna be attracted to other light skinned people. So they didn't even have to teach that to them. They automatically would date. I seen it in high school. That's the crazy shit. I remember this light skinned girl. She showed me she showed me a picture of her family, and I was like, Dad, where you ain't got nobody darker than you in your family? Y'all all pale? Y'all all this and that? Something I said, and and after that, me and her had beef. But I had to say it. But anyway, y'all, I ain't say it to cause any contention. But like I said, we going deep in the shadows. Venus is in Scorpio, so we gotta be a little uncomfortable to talk about shit in order to transmute it. You know what I mean? We gotta do away with that dumb shit. Ooh, that's deep, Marcia. Even your name, that's a Moorish name. Moresia. How do you say it? Moresia. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I'm telling you. And that's another thing. Like, if you look at the history with Santo Domingo and Haiti, they share an island mass. They're actually one island, and they separated the island and put all the dark skin slaves into Haiti and kept and actually was attempting to breed out the African um, in but that wasn't possible. It's one landmass, so Haitians are always going to be going into Santo Domingo, especially to work. I heard like, hey, that's how Haitians. A lot of Haitians they go to Santo Domingo to get jobs, to be able to work. So, of course, they're going to be building families and finding partners, and and then they speak Spanish and French. There's something with Spanish and French, y'all. Yes, and also Mandarin, um, but it's something with French and Spanish that we need to get up on. Learn these languages, sign language, learn it so that way we can be able to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I also wanted to say too, there's no separate. I'm not trying to separate, but dark skinned men don't have as much of a plight as a dark skinned woman. Dark skinned men don't have as much of a plight as dark skinned women. Why? You'll see the most chocolatey, charcoal black man with a white woman. You'll see them with all types of women on the planet. They don't care about that. You would see that. Most dark skinned men have no problem pulling a light skinned woman. But when it comes to the dark skinned woman and coming into that light skinned man's family, get the fuck out of it. What you bringing her over here for? The mother would be like, what you bringing her over here for? Exactly. And they're more seen as having more phallic energy, right? Their phallic energy is being large. So they are sought after. But us is more in secret. It's more a fetish. It's more of a fantasy. You see what I'm saying? It's more like yeah, we'll keep you even in movies. Even in movies. What did they say about remember Martin with Gina and Pam? How they always used to BDB, call her BDB, always breaking her down, calling her an animal. You see what I'm saying? And that was I love Martin. Don't get it twisted. He's a Scorpio moon. I love Martin, but again, the narrative is shown. It's shown by our own people. We don't even have to worry about the outsiders. We do it to ourselves. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The programming, house party. You know what I'm saying? What was it? What was it? School days. School days with Spike Lee school day, school days. Remember? It was the dark skinned girl against the light skin posse. And remember, the dark skinned girl was like, "I think you only with me because I'm dark skinned. Like you only want to sneak around in my dorm at night or whatever." Something she said, right? And he was like, "That's not true." Da 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 da. That's when Larry was fired, right? That's when Larry was fired. Yo, yeah, school days, right? Y'all, all of that stuff was ingrained in us. But again, we gonna heal it. We gonna get it together. We gonna get it together. Cause I'll tell you this: light skinned women, a lot of light skinned women, they really want to be dark skinned. They really want to be because they feel like they're not black enough or they're not, so they do have insecurities about their skin as well. That they wish that they were more black. That sometimes they feel like they're not black enough. There's a girl even on Instagram. She's dumb funny. Her name is Don't Call Me a White Girl because she's so light skinned and people might mistake her for white. So she like, I'm black. Don't you dare call me a white girl. You see what I'm saying? And then I know myself when I was younger growing up, I hated my skin. I wish I was light skinned. I always wish, but when I seen my friend's mother bleach her skin and she came out looking like Michael Jackson, I was like, no, I'm good. And that's heavy, prevalent in Jamaican culture. That bleaching shit, that what they call it? Browning, what the fuck? Browning soap and all of this shit. Getting clear. We need clear skin. And it's like it died down a bit when the Rastafari movement with Sizzler and all of them was getting heavy. But then once the Rastafari culture kind of died down and there was too many frauds and it became a lot of dreadies, in the music industry. And then with Vibes, it's Vibes, and that Vibes Cartel is who brought back the bleaching hard. So once Vibes Cartel started bleaching his skin, then that's when the whole island was like, oh, we need to go back to that shit. I would, I don't find, and then they there putting on socks, gotta walk out with umbrellas, and they can't walk out in the sun, y'all. When you bleach your skin, you cannot walk out in the sun. They cover themselves. They do all kind. There's documentaries on it on the bleaching pandemic. Okay, I never understood it. And it would be like light skinned Jamaicans bleaching as well, and I'd be like, girl, you already light. Why? Oh, just to make it more clear, because they want actually their skin to look pink. The shit is sick. But again, it's programming. It's programming. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, that shit was so deep. I know I've been running my mouth, y'all. I've been running my mouth. We gonna come more with it. I mean, y'all see, I'm like, any moment I have, I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. Learn these languages. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be not just a mixing of like, within the melanated community. There's gonna be more partners of light skin and dark skin coming together again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. So that way you can't get the downloads from the sun. They be literally covering up their skin, wearing long socks with shorts, wearing long sleeves, and it'll be dumb hot, and they still wearing hats, sunglasses, and walking with an umbrella. So that way, because it'll literally burn their skin because the protection is gone. They done bleached out the protection. See, you don't know that your melanin is a form of protection. This is why we rarely get sun cancer. We don't get no sun cancer. I mean skin cancer. Come on now. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I just had to bring it up as being a representative of the Black Madonnas. You feel me? I had to see it. I had to say it because I saw it once I watched the video and I was like, yeah, yeah, it is what it is. And with that, oh, the pyramid reconfiguring every 10 minutes. It's retrograde season, y'all. Not just Mercury. So know that while you're waiting or on pause or there are delays, use your time wisely and garner and gain information. And with that, I appreciate y'all as always, and I'm going to see y'all on the check in. Peace.